What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, daily news, everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., the economy, money, investing, the stock market, everything you need to know about on a daily basis. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. Remember that new videos come out here on our YouTube channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you up to date with everything going on here on a daily basis that you need to know about. And if you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to hear directly from Senator Joe Manchin here. That's right. He's gonna tell us what he's thinking here on the Build Back Better package, the next stimulus package, as well as we're gonna talk about the debt limit, which they need to pass like today to potentially prevent the country from defaulting. That's right. I have brand new information on that. We got a lot to talk about here today. So first, let's go directly to Senator Joe Manchin, who has a lot of questions to answer. Here it is.
Senator,
over here.
So,
okay there?
Yeah. So since we last saw you, that inflation report came out saying the U.S. hit the 39-year high in inflation. Does that tell you that Congress should wait until next year to do the Build Back Better bill, if at all?
Well, whatever we're considering doing, or whatever Congress is considering doing, they should do it within the limits of what we can afford, and that means having a tax plan that's fair and equitable, and keeps us competitive, but also makes everyone pay, especially the wealthy, pay their fair share too. See what that spins off, and if that's in that 1.7 range, then we should be spending whatever in that range, as far as I'm concerned. If it's whatever plan it would be, pre-K, child care, end of in-home care, then it should be 10 years. It shouldn't just be 1 year here, 3 years here, 5 years there, and that would be. I think it would be very transparent for the public to see exactly what they'd be getting for what we're spending for 10 years.
So you won't support it if these programs are temporary?
No, we're going to talk. We're still talking. I'm just, I'm listening to everybody, but, I'm just telling you, ask me about inflation is real. It's not transitory. It's alarming. It's going up, not down. And I think that should be something we're concerned about. Geopolitical fallout, we've talked about that. I'm concerned with close to 100,000 troops on the Russian-Ukraine border, and also with the continuous flyovers from China taunting Taiwan. These are all concerns of ours that we're very much concerned about. So we're very, very careful what we do. And I've always said the unknown right now is very, very great, and I want to make sure we can handle and take care of anything that does come at us.
So do you think that some of these unknowns, is this legislation becoming more imminent for you, or what are your conversations around a possible deadline or the urgency to get this done? Schumer says December 31st, maybe December, that he'd like to see this, or will it be even more than that?
I know people have been in a hurry for a long time to do something, but I think basically we're seeing things unfold that allows us to prepare better. And that's what we should do, take advantage of what we're doing in a very litigious way, and making sure what we do and how we do it, for what period of time we do it, is something that we can maintain, manage. My grandfather used to say, unmanaged debt will make a coward out of the decisions you make. And we're now at 29 trillion, and we'll be pushing on to 30 trillion. And I'm sure that Mr. Powell, with the Feds, they're going to make some decisions pretty soon here. And I'm understanding that he is considering things that we've talked about. Quantitative easing should be reduced or eliminated as quickly as possible, and the interest rate's going to affect all of us if he has to increase interest to try to control.
Senator, what is your message going to be to President Biden today when you guys talk?
No, I don't have messages. I basically go and have conversations whenever the president calls me or wants to visit. We visit and we talk genuinely as person to person, as two people that have had the experience of being in the Senate, him much longer than me, understanding this process, and being extremely respectful and very friendly. He's been a friend.
Senator Graham said on Friday that in conversations with you, you were stunned, that was his quote, by this modified CBO report that came out. Is that an accurate?
Well, I've seen the Penn Wharton report. The Penn Wharton report, we've been working with a lot of different people, getting cross-sections of what really was a true figure. And we've seen figures pretty high on that. And then when the CBO came back and confirmed that, CBO's figure was even a little bit higher. I think it's very sobering.
Do you believe that? You believe that number?
Have you
Do you
finalized
believe
your,
that number?
Right back.
have you finalized your plans? Are you going to the White House to meet with the president? Are
I'm
you
going
doing-
sometime today, I believe. You know, it's either a phone call or I'm going over. I've heard both, so I'll find out when I'm going. It'll be later this afternoon or early this evening.
And are you gonna tell them whether you want to do this bill now?
We're
or
going to
not?
talk about exactly what, you know, what happened on Friday with the CBO score and inflation reports and things of that sort. And I'd like to hear theirs first, the president's first, where he's at and what his concerns may be.
Would you believe that CBO number? I mean, the White House says that, look, this is not offset spending, but the Republicans say this is the true cost. Do you believe it's the true
Well,
cost,
it's not-
$3 trillion?
That CBO is not a Republican or Democrat report. You know, CBO is a Congressional Budget Office, and they're nonpartisan, and they're going to give it to us the way facts, the way we like it or not. And I've been very concerned because I've been seeing all the people. The Penn Wharton is a very prestigious institution, and I think a lot of people respect their ability for accuracy, and they have not been off.
You don't believe that temporary programs will stay temporary?
I just don't think that that's a fair evaluation of saying that we're going to spend X amount of dollars, but then we're going to have to depend on coming back finding more money. So you might as well look at the whole ball of wax, if you will. And if that cost is 4 or 4.5 trillion, and we're raising 1.5, 1.7, 1.8, whatever we're raising in that, and I'm concerned about paying down debt too. So whatever we raise, I want to make sure there's money going towards paying down debt. We have to start taking care of our debt and be responsible. And then if we don't, if we're not transparent and accurate, then where does the money come from? Do we go back in another bite and more funding, or do we just throw caution to the wind and have debt financing, which has been done by both parties for far too long?
So, yeah, a lot of different things they're talking about here. Number one, they're talking about, or the last thing they're talking about there is the CBO report, the Congressional Budget Office report. That's the last thing they're talking about there. The Republicans kind of asked the CBO to give a new score on the bill here, kind of here in the last 48 hours or so, to score these programs if they were extended to 10 years. Okay. The one big example here is the child tax credit, these monthly payments that go out to, these monthly checks that go out to 65, 60 some million children. They want to extend it for 1 year in this next package, right? But the Republicans are like, well, what if you extended it for 10 years? What would the cost be? But the Build Back Better package calls to extend it for 1 year. And while the Republicans are like, well, extend all these programs for 10 years or some even permanently, what would it cost? It's a big theoretical if, right? Because this package extends it for 1 year. And if they extend all these programs for another year, or in the future, more years, they would have to be approved by Congress. Well, Republicans could control those Congresses. Republicans could control the House or the Senate or both in the future. Remember that Republicans controlled the House, the Senate, and the presidency in 2017 and passed the 2017 Trump tax cuts with the reconciliation process when they controlled everything. So Republicans may have to approve these in the future. Just remember that. And Republicans raised the child tax credits from $1,000 to $2,000 in 2017. But just as this is an example here, the Democrats want to extend it for 1 year, but the Republicans are like, well, extend all these programs for 10 years and then give us the cost, what they're calling the true cost. If all these programs get extended for 10 years and if future Congresses approve all of the programs in the Build Back Better package and approve them all hypothetically for 10 years. So that's what Joe Manchin's talking about there. And would they all be paid for? It's a lot of hypothetical situations here. We're talking about the Medicare expansions for seniors. We're talking about lowering prescription drug pricing. We're talking about affordable housing. There's $150 billion in affordable housing. We're talking about health care in there. Everything that's in this package, right? Yeah, and extending all these programs. I mean, this a lot of hypothetical there. So that's what they're talking about right there. like I said, a lot of hypothetical to extend all those programs for many, many years, and a lot of hypothetical to think that Republicans and Democrats in future Congresses, a lot of people that haven't even been elected yet, because you got to think 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 10 years from now, there's going to be new people in Congress that haven't even been elected yet. Are they going to vote to approve programs that had for people that aren't even there yet? A lot of hypothetical in a question like that.
What are you talking about with some of your progressive colleagues in terms of things like universal pre-K, child tax credit? Because Pramila Jayapal has said, though, that those are not red lines for them. It wasn't initially in their core priority as Pramila Jayapal. So are you guys looking at eliminating some of those or just making sure?
I think everyone has to choose basically what we can sustain, and that's a 10-year program, okay? And, you know, families, we're speaking to families now. Inflation has hit them and hit them hard in West Virginia and all around the country. People are seeing it daily at the food stores and grocery stores, at the pumps. Now winter's coming on, and that's going to take another toll on them. So people are very much concerned. They're worried. But, you know, when you think about where families are, they make decisions, you know. Businesses, small, large, have to make decisions, and based on what their priorities are, what they can afford to do. And a timely, all of you all do. We all make decisions that way. And government can't be any different than the people we represent. We've got to find the highest priorities we have and make decisions and move from there. So we'll talk, and I'm happy to talk to anybody and everybody. I've been very open, and I think I've been exactly where I've been from day one, have not changed, and still looking for a responsible way forward.
If the child tax credit goes away, the child tax.
We're talking about that too. We're meeting and talking about everything. The rules, how do we make the Senate work better? How can the Senate function the way the Senate was designed to function? With some civility and the way we should be treating each other and not strictly down hardcore party lines and fighting on every issue because you have a D or an R by your name. I would like to think we all belong to the American Party, and we're here for a purpose and reason, to unite our country, keep our country strong and protected. And right now we're letting politics just tear us apart. It's absolutely awful to sit here and watch it happen. So my colleagues and myself will be sitting down. Is there ways that we can look at the rules that makes this place work in a more effective and efficient? And we're very productive, and right now we're not.
Yeah, so let me know your thoughts on what Senator Joe Manchin has to say. Yeah, a lot of different things there. And remember, they need his vote to pass the Build Back Better package, the next stimulus package. There's a lot of things in that next package, and they're trying to pass it here before Christmas or this year. President Biden just spoke with him yesterday, and they said they're going to be speaking again this week, so I will keep you updated. Next up, the debt limit or the debt ceiling, pretty much the same thing. They're going to be voting on this in the Senate today to prevent the country from defaulting. The X date, the date is as early as tomorrow. That's an estimated date where the Treasury Department could literally run out of money. And the Democrats are going to increase the debt ceiling by $2.5 trillion. Yeah, so this would increase the national deficit. Once the national deficit amount, it doesn't necessarily increase the deficit by $2.5 trillion instantly. It creates the amount that we could raise the deficit by $2.5 trillion eventually. This is just how much money our government is this is how much it costs, right? You can see here, Democrats will vote as soon as Tuesday to raise the debt ceiling by $2.5 trillion, which they expect will lift the nation's borrowing cap until 2023. Yeah, so we don't know the exact month they're going to raise it till. They have not specified that yet. But now we have a new number. The number is supposed to be $2.5 trillion. We will keep you updated on this. Senate Democrats unveiled a resolution to raise the debt ceiling on Tuesday, shortly before they are scheduled to take a procedural vote on the measure. Senate Democrats are expected to vote to raise the debt ceiling on Tuesday as part of a deal worked out with Senate Republican leaders that gives them a one-time exemption to raise the debt ceiling without needing to overcome the 60-vote filibuster, which they already did in the past vote, which was a few days ago. The House could vote as soon as Tuesday. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has given lawmakers until Wednesday, tomorrow, to keep the country solvent or literally prevent them from defaulting. The resolution doesn't state how long the debt ceiling will be raised for. We don't know that information yet. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said it would get Congress past the 2022 midterm elections, which is in November of 2022, and into 2023. The resolution we will vote on will provide for raising of the debt limit to a level commensurate with funding necessary to get into 2023. So I will keep you up to date on this. Our next video will be at 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Hopefully they can pass it tonight.
You know they're gonna wait until freaking 11 o'clock to vote for that thing.
Yeah, I know. Always wait until the last minute, right? Next up, the CDC is already estimating that 3% of the United States case of Omicron are now Omicron. Wow, that was fast. 3% is now the new virus. Can you believe that? That is insane. How can it honestly be that fast? Wow. And it's already in over 30 different states now, at least. This is just what's been confirmed. So, yeah, and you can see here that the Omicron variant may be able to partly evade vaccine protection as it spreads across the country. Yeah. We also have this here. As of yesterday, the U.S. passed over 800,000 deaths from the virus, and now over 50 million cases in total from the virus as well. That's a lot. Both numbers, 50 million cases and 800,000 people have died just in the U.S. From this virus. Both milestone numbers here, neither of which I'm happy to report. And this new variant is spreading fast in multiple different areas and countries. 3% apparently already in the US, the CDC says. 83% surge in cases in Africa is kind of where it originated, South Africa, spreading very, very fast there as well. And yesterday, the Supreme Court held up another vaccine mandate here to block a New York vaccine mandate yet again. This is just another time that the Supreme Court has held up vaccine mandates again. The Supreme Court has actually held up these vaccine mandates several times now, kind of showing a precedent here. We've had vaccine mandates blocked by lower courts, but the Supreme Court has held up these vaccine mandates several times now. We'll have to see what happens here in the future, but this is what happened here yesterday. The Supreme Court turned away 2 emergency requests from healthcare workers, doctors, and nurses in New York to block the state's vaccine mandates. Justices Samuel Alito, Neil Garouche, and Clarence Thomas dissented. The dispute arose when 3 nurses, the group called We the Patriots USA, challenged the mandate, arguing that it allowed exemptions for those with medical objections, but not for the people with religious objections. The rule, which is currently in effect, covers workers in hospitals and nursing homes, home health agencies, adult centers, as well as hospices. Several doctors who say they have treated many patients with this virus filed a separate request with the justices. So far, the justices have allowed state mandates from Indiana, Maine, and New York to go forward, suggesting a tolerance for state efforts to fight the virus in the midst of this surge of the Delta variant. Garouche wrote that he would have granted the request, noting that the doctors and nurses, quote, have gone to great lengths to serve their patients during the pandemic. He said 2 of the doctors are not anti-vaxxers who object to all vaccines, but the sincerity of their religious beliefs should be respected. So, yeah, once again, the Supreme Court has upheld a vaccine mandate yet again. I will keep you up to date here. We're going to see probably several more of these going forward. And the Supreme Court is basically the highest court, and that's kind of where the buck stops. So, I will keep you up to date. What's interesting is that the Supreme Court is a majority held by Republicans. There's 6 Republicans on the Supreme Court, 6 Supreme Court justices are Republicans appointed by Republican presidents, and 3 are Democrats. And they are upholding the vaccine mandates. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll keep you up to date with everything going on here. The debt limit vote, which is expected to happen tonight to prevent our country from a first ever default. Hopefully it happens tonight, right? As well as the stimulus package, the Build Back Better package, everything going on here in our country, the economy, inflation, everything you need to know about. So make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, on another note, our longtime kitty, Leo, who's 15 years old, is kind of in the hospital at the vet, and he's sick, and he's with the doctor, and he's not really doing well. So our thoughts and prayers go out to him, and yeah, he's not doing well. So hopefully he will do well, better. Yeah, so our thoughts and prayers go out to him. He's been a part of our family for 15 years. So yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. You can click here to see our newest video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.